While in a conversation with the writer Juan Cárdenas, I asked him how he did as a writer to make his books. Where do you work? What do you wear while writing? How do you compile your ideas? How do you organize your ideas? I told him that I was obsessed with knowing the rituals behind writing. How do I make a book? I'm facing many fundamental questions. I asked my advisor, books. How do you make a book in anthropology? The answer, how do you imagine your book in anthropology? How do I imagine my book? But how can I imagine my book if I don't know how to do it? This is my performance of making a book. What forces are coming together on this intimate scene? There is an underlying base that sustains the writing of a book.
Virginia Woolf ya decía la verdad desde 1929. Las mujeres necesitan dinero y una habitación propia en la que no tengan distracciones ni molestias.
There are inescapable distractions. Working long hours to get money to keep my own room, it's an obligation to me. I work almost every day right before the sun goes down, and I try to not work one single minute more. Sometimes I can make it. There are also distractions that are not distractions. Once I have secured the room, once I'm there on my intimacy, how do I organize my ideas? How do I start making connections? How do I know which connections I must follow? How do I position myself on this forest? Juan, the writer, told me that he thinks about his books for a long time, but that he writes them very fast. His work is made of constellations, composed by readings, problems, debates. With time, the constellations settle into ideas, which in turn form very specific images. He told me that the idea of his last novel came suddenly to his mind one day after going through his constellations for a very long time. Is it a spark then? That is the secret? Ideas come to mind on any day, after working and reworking the material. What has to happen for the spark to happen? Andrea Ballesteros and Britt Rose take that spark and open it like a black box. When I read them, the two explained to me that the spark is a process of constant analysis. What is analysis?
El análisis no tiene por qué ser un proceso etéreo, que dependa de un chispazo creativo y afectivo que se hace explícito solamente a través de la escritura. El análisis tampoco tiene que hacerse a través de metodologías preestablecidas de creación, porque pueden no ser suficientes para capturar toda la riqueza del encuentro etnográfico.
I found an echo of this same idea in a book written 126 years ago.
Émile Durkheim sugiere que en la base de todas las ciencias están las prenociones que hacemos sobre las cosas. Esas prenociones son una especie de fantasma que domina el espíritu.
126 years later, Marisol de la Cadena takes the same concept of prenotions and suspended. She asks the following questions.
¿Qué pasa cuando se encuentra algo que confunde? ¿Qué pasa cuando se encuentra algo que desestabiliza? Si la etnografía se trata del encuentro entre dos mundos, ¿qué hacer en ese momento en el que se llega a una zona de incomprensión?
When I started this journey looking for a method to position myself on my own forest. I wasn't expecting this kind of answer. I didn't expect to find an answer that talks about the affected disposition of thinking, but it makes sense. Durkheim vuelve y habla.
Las prenociones son fantasmas que dominan al espíritu.
Marisol vuelve y dice.
La perplejidad del momento de incomprensión puede ser usado para controlar el hábito de usar conjeturas como explicaciones.
The books I read suggest to me that cognitive and affective habits can be developed to intensify the moments of conceptual creativity and relational commitment of the ethnographic encounter. What I have to do, first and foremost, once I have secured my own room, once I have started to live on my constellations, once I find something disturbing, inexplicable, genuine, what I have to do is to control my breath, is to be aware of the immediate presuppositions that come to my mind. What I have found tells me to control my pulse, to suspend myself overthink, to stretch the moment of confusion as much as possible, and to have the courage to look inside the moment and see what is there. Book seems to be born there.